Hi, guys.
Hey.
That sounded great. Thank you so much for playing those two songs.
Thank you.
How's the tour going?
It's amazing.
Yeah. I feel like it gets better every night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it cool to play, like, the newer songs, mixing in with the old?
Yes.
It's like, no, I only like to play
love
the
it.
old songs that everyone wants.
Yeah, I love our set. We have like 7 or 8 songs off the new album, and then we also have songs off every album that Flyleaf's put out so far, that we've put out so far. And so I think it's a great mixture of everything that we've done. But yeah, the new songs definitely have a special place in my heart, so I really enjoy playing those out.
I know the album's relatively new, but I mean, are you noticing people singing along already to...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I should hope so. I mean, they're at the concert, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know this one. Talk to me a little bit about the album, because I know that you got it started up and running through Pledge Music, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
You raised a lot of money. Like, I had a Kickstarter campaign. It was a struggle to get to $500, so well done. But talk to me a little bit about, the whole process of doing it differently. I mean, I think there's so many wonderful ways of getting music out there now. So.
Yeah.
I think Pledge is so much. It's so different than any of the other campaigns that are raising money for projects, as far as the way that they engage the fans and engage the people who are contributing to whatever project is being pledged for. Things like Kristen was knitting items for certain fans who pledged, and Pat was making artwork, and we did this really awesome studio hang, which I'll never forget. And we, whoever pledged for that, they came in and we went to Capitol Records in Studio A and did like a listening party sort of, but the songs weren't even finished. We're still working on them, and so they're still work in progress. So the fans got to hear,
That's awesome.
Yeah, the songs in the works, and then we did a Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to ask them questions like, well, what do you think about these new songs, or what do you think about the direction? Is there anything that you're missing in them? And it was really cool.
I think there's like a big misconception that if you're doing any of this crowdfunding, that you're basically just sitting and waiting for a check to come. But so much goes into the incentives and everything else, plus the work of putting an album together.
Yeah, I think it was, first and foremost, the reason we did it was at that time we left the previous label that we were on, and so for us, we weren't wanting to just jump out there and look for a new label per se, and we knew we needed time to write songs, time to make an album that we all really loved, and we knew we wanted to engage the fans in that process. So for us, Pledge was perfect, because you kind of set your own timeline with that, and yeah, we had all these goals that we wanted to reach, as it went along, so it kind of allowed us to stay on a timeline, but it also allowed us to be, creatively in control, and without a label, it was kind of nice at first. And so, yeah, now we're glad to have a label, but at the time
awesome.
It was really important for us creatively to hear our own voice and let that speak through the album.
What about creatively? What was the approach for this album? Going in.
A little bit of everything. We're all songwriters, so it's a real blessing because we have a lot to pull from. They have a home studio in Texas, so we spent the majority of the writing there, and just kind of pulled all the ideas we had together, whether they were something that was already finished, or whether it was a riff that Jared had, or little memos on my iPhone. All these songs were kind of put into all these pieces, and until everybody touched it, it didn't become really a Flyleaf album. So
I can tell, as you guys are playing, that each of you kind of brings something to the table, which is kind of cool. Not to say that past sessions there's someone, I don't know, doing a Rubik's Cube in the back, but you can kind of sense a vibe that you guys are all kind of in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? I mean,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, talk to me about your plans. I know you're on tour now through November, and then holidays off, and then back on the road pretty much?
Yeah, definitely. We all have families, husband and wives and babies. So, yeah, it's important for us to be home for the holidays, and, it's better to tour when the new year starts anyway. So,
right.
Yeah, we're loving this tour right now, and we'll take a little break, but then be right back out 2015.
Now, when you guys are putting the album together, you're conscious of the fact you have to tour and the whole... How are your respective spouses and kids with this?
very supportive. You know, I mean, they've all known us, you know, before we were in bands, and you know, they knew what they were getting into, and when we joined together, for sure, they're very supportive.
Yeah, it's not easy, I would say, all the time. My husband doesn't get to come out very much because he works at home. You know, his wife, you know, is a teacher. You know, everybody has kind of their own things, but I think the greatest part about having a partner who really loves you is they respect your passions as well. And at least with my husband, it's we understand that that's kind of what keeps each other going is what we love doing. So it's a blessing that they do support.
That's cool. I mean,
yeah.
I would think it's definitely, you'd have to know what you're getting yourself into beforehand.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like. Then on the flip side, it's kind of like if you're home for a while, it works because it's like, well, he or she's going out on tour at least. I don't have to. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That could be.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, good. He's on the road for 2 months. That's nice. All right, cool. Well, thanks, guys. Any New Year's resolutions? Because no one asked that shit in October.
Oh, goodness.
Get a good Halloween costume.
Yeah. New Year's resolutions. To not have one. I hate New Year's resolutions.
Aren't they terrible?
I'm like,
So
who really
pointless.
follows them? And if you really want to make a change, you're not going to wait till January. I mean, I don't know.
Are those like fans of yours outside, like begging to get into this classroom? I thought this was pretty classified. You guys are coming with groupies or what?
You know, we like to hit up the different music
They just
schools.
shout things at the door hoping you'll come out?
Yeah.
Well, good luck, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Good.